mentoring for young psychologists and women psychologists established a very high bar for her and for all of her followers. And it ended decades of gender exclusion in the MPA. She also stayed involved with MPA even after she moved on to APA prominence, working on committees and enlisting us to work with WGBH on the Five Girls Project, an outgrowth of her commitment to understanding and helping adolescent girls. While she was very aware of women's issues in the modern day, she also had a love of historic references, as later demonstrated in her novel writing. I recall a lesson learned at her Milton home when we had an MPA board meeting for some reason there. As I was leaving, she pulled me to the door. I wasn't quite sure what I had done to rush to the door. And she turned around and she showed me the wide doors in the house and asked me if I knew why they were so wide. She told me they were built that way so that women in hoop skirts wouldn't have to tilt their skirts as they walked through the door and show their undies. And then she laughed that wonderful laugh that we all remember. I watched her grow, and more important, selflessly model growth to leadership as she moved from MPA president to APA president, where she was also only one of a handful of women to hold that role in a much longer history. Last week, the day before she passed away, I was speaking at a state psychological association, and I related a story about her. And I related about this story to illustrate the concepts of responsibility and courage. It was a story about her understanding of responsibility and her courage to ask the tough questions. At an APA council meeting when Jerry was a council rep with Norine, she asked him about why the budget did not reflect recent profit and loss figures for a magazine that APA had purchased to publish, and he encouraged her to bring it up. It had been a multi-million-dollar endeavor that eventually took even more millions of dollars to get out of, and would have cost even more had Norine not questioned it as early as she did. Anyway, back to the story. She was one of the newest council members, and at that time, she reminded me of the boy in The Emperor's New Clothes, when she asked the question that few would notice and no one would ask. But she trusted her perceptions, she knew it had to be asked, and she took it upon herself